Hi Aquarius, happy birthday. This is your forecast for February 2017 and the sun is in Aquarius in your sign for the majority of the month, so you're really going to feel comfortable in your own skin and you're going to have a sense of energy and drive, and you're also going to have a particular focus on work. Now, the first thing that's really significant that happens in February is on the 4th of February, Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and creativity, goes into Aries in your third house of communication. Now, you're really going to benefit from this because it's a nice placement at work. Some of the other signs have struggled with Venus going into Aries, but what you're going to notice is that you're going to feel far more creative and far more expressive than you usually do. You also have Mars and Uranus in Aries in that third house, and that's a whole load of energy. So it's all about expression, it's all about what's going on in here out. So whether you want to write or sing or perform or be up on stage or create or paint or whatever it is, there'll be a huge amount of energy that's available for you to do that, and it also gives you the skill and ability to be a very good leader here in February. Now, on the 5th of February, Jupiter, the lucky planet, goes into retrograde until the 10th of June. And Jupiter is an outer planet, so the outer planets spend quite a lot of time in retrograde. So Jupiter here, 4 months, some of the other outer planets stay in retrograde for 6 months. So it's not as significant as when the personal planets go retrograde, like Mercury, Mars, Venus, because they have a specific impact on you personally. Jupiter will continue to support you with good luck and opportunities and building new relationships. And particularly for you, Aquarius, it's in your 9th house of travel, education, and expansion, okay? So it's a really good time for you to do all of those things, to explore different places, to add to your skill set, to meet new people. But when Jupiter is in retrograde, the main thing about that is that it's a time to re-examine and to reflect on what you've been doing so far. What are your skills? What have you seen? What is it that you want to see? Think about those things. You'll get some really good ideas that will help you grow in a personal way that feels nurturing and fun and adventurous and exciting. On the 7th of February, Mercury goes into your sign of Aquarius, and this is more good news, another birthday kind of gift. Mercury is the communication planet. In your sign of Aquarius, you will feel like your thoughts and your ideas are almost magically coming together. It's sitting on top of your transiting midheaven in Aquarius, and remember, your sun is in Aquarius in that first house. So you will have loads of great ideas when it comes to your work, about how you can help other people, who you are as a person, what you've got to offer creatively. What's interesting is that Black Moon Lilith is sitting in Scorpio in your 10th house. So you may not feel like what you're doing and this new self that is emerging is particularly relevant to the career that you already have. I don't think it's the best month for you to make big career changes. I don't think you should quit your job as a corporate lawyer and say, I am now going to I'm going to do a one-man show on Broadway. Okay, I don't think it's the best time for you to do that. What I do think is great is to explore this new sense of self by doing something creative on the side, on top of what you're already doing work-wise, and to really get in touch with your own inspiration and all these new ideas that are flowing in thick and fast. On the 11th of February, we've got the full moon in Leo, and that is also a lunar eclipse. Now, the full moon in Leo happens in your 7th house of relationships, and I'm going to make a separate video on the full moon and the new moon coming up later in the month, but just to give you more in-depth information on these. But as far as you're concerned, it happens in the 7th house of relationships. So there'll be this huge fire, this huge sense of excitement when it comes to your relationships, and there may even be a gift that comes your way relationship-wise. So it's important to listen to Jupiter up there in the 9th and to go out into the world and to meet new people and to discover new things and to expand your skill set even, because it's very likely that you'll meet someone or that and it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, it could be a romantic new relationship, but there'll be a meeting of the minds where you'll meet someone who excites you and who inspires you and who brings a sense of the new and fresh into your world. Now, it's not just a full moon though, it's a lunar eclipse. The lunar eclipse interrupts this full moon, and the effects of an eclipse can be felt for 6 months after the actual eclipse. Now, this eclipse happens on the north node, which means it's pulling energy in. So for the next 6 months, this excitement and passion about relationships and the fun you can have with other people will be there and will be heightened. And because the North Node is in Virgo, it means that you are very, very good at avoiding negative situations and that you can streamline your social network so that you spend time with people who you truly, genuinely enjoy, and you avoid the drama and the betrayal and all of the negative stuff that can come along with relationship. So that bodes really, really well for you. And these eclipses are long-term, and it's going to affect you specifically in a very positive way. Now, on the 14th of February, we've got Mars and Pluto forming a square, which means they're 90 degrees apart. And this lasts until the 1st of March. So it's really the last 2 weeks of February. This is significant. These two only square each other once every 2 years, and it really ups the ante. It really makes things more volatile. Mars is personal drive and desire. In your case, it's creativity. Pluto is really significant change and transformation, and it's in Capricorn in your 12th house. So the work that you're doing creatively, it can really alter the perspective of who you are as an individual and what you have to offer the world. So if you've never seen yourself as a creative person ever, and you really haven't felt like you've got a lot to offer in that sense, by engaging with that process, it can fundamentally deconstruct some of those walls or those faulty beliefs that you've adopted. I'm not creative, I'm not musical, I cannot draw, I cannot write. Most people are creative in some sense, and by using that energy to at least experiment and try it out, it can really have a long-term significant impact in the way you perceive yourself and in the way you are spiritually as an individual. So that is very, very important. And again, in your case, that affects you in a very positive way. Other signs have found it very difficult to integrate this energy, but for you, it's a fundamental shift of how you perceive yourself and your own gifts and talents. Now, also on the 14th of February, Mars starts to conjunct Uranus, and Uranus is the planet of rebellion and electricity and chaos. It's more energy. Conjunction is when the two planets come together, they sit in the same position, and their energies kind of combine and meet and mesh and mishmash together. Okay, so we've got Mars, which is drive and this energy. Uranus is like Mars on steroids. It's super energy, it's electricity, so there's no stopping you. So you've got to find a way to get this creative stuff out of you. If you don't want to do the creative work, which I really think you should try, going out into the world and traveling and having new experiences, you will really be up for it. You'll have the energy to go on trips like that and to make the most of it. So really, it's very important for you to go out into the world and to experience new things. Now, that energy continues throughout February until the 26th of February, when Mercury goes into Pisces, and that goes into your second house. And you've got a lot going on in your second house now. You've got Mercury, the South Node, the Moon, the Sun, Neptune, and Chiron all in Pisces. And you totally shift gears now. You start to think along the lines of, how am I making money, and how can I do something that really supports other people? Can I do something that is, can I create money for other people? Can I get involved in a foundation or a charity, or can I start a retreat center or healing? Something which is really pure in intention, and something which has to do with finance in the sense that money is required, but your main focus and your main desire is about creating something which is really going to be of service to other people. Now, on the 26th, we also have the new moon in Pisces, which is another eclipse. This one is a solar eclipse. So the new moon pulls in this Piscean energy, and that's why you're so focused on helping others now, and you're very intuitive and spiritually inclined. But the solar eclipse is on the South Node, so it's about letting go of doubts, disappointments, shattered dreams, things that haven't really worked so much in the past. And the interesting thing here is also that the Sun and Neptune are sitting right on top of each other. This makes you very intuitive. So it's important. Remember, you have, throughout the month, you've discovered this new sense of self, this new spiritual Aquarius has emerged. Get in touch with that through something like meditation or yoga, and you will really discover that maybe there is something that you can do which will really be of service to other people and which will personally be very gratifying and fulfilling. So it looks like an amazing month for you, an intense month, but really, really creative. If you would like a private reading with me based on your birth chart, which I can draw up by looking at your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth, and then I can put these transits around that chart to see how this impacts you specifically, then please get in touch with me via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to order your reading. Please remember to subscribe to this channel, and I'll speak to you next month.